Bhairava Kalki Namostade. Om Namo Bhairavaya Namo Namah. Om Namo Bhairavaya Swaha. Om Maa Namah. Jai Maa Adyamahakali. Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. So, I wanted to address many different subjects today, but they kind of all come under the single bracket or umbrella of Bhairava as the Adhara. I think this is a very, very important idea to understand and to completely take in. Maa will play specific events in your life where you will completely win, and then other events where you will completely break down, and you will also inevitably, especially in this path, very quickly, I find, face what we call as the inner demons or weaknesses or very bad events, which are all nothing but you only, right? The goal in this is not to be swept away by your own emotions. It's to master yourself and remain stoic like a rock, like the Vigraham you worship, completely unmoving and rooted in your sadhana and with proper and firm belief in the deity that you worship. I think the best place, to start off is with the Samudra Manthan. Again, please go watch the videos on Guruji's channel. He has already addressed all of these near the beginning of the channel. And like I said, these are some of the most foundational and pertinent things that a sadhaka, should understand and grasp, I think, from the get-go. Okay, so coming back to the Samudra Manthan, you all know it, right? There's two sides, the Devas, the Asuras, both chanting in order to get back all that they've lost. Not only do they get the things they want, they also, then manage to churn out the Halahal, which Mahadeva himself has to come and consume and then store it. Then Devi comes and gives him relief. The whole act of Samudra Manthan is exactly what sadhaka experiences as he does his sadhana, as he goes through life, and as he keeps on going. Just like in the Manthan, there are two sides, right? The Devas and the Asuras. So too similarly, we have the side of the Deva and the side of the Asura within us. During sadhana of Bhairava, very quickly, I think, you find that this chanting starts taking place, and you can really feel the immediate effects of it too. Constantly within you, you'll be put in such a place and state of mind where if, all these times you kept the Asuric side of you hidden, it will suddenly pop up right in your face, and then out of nowhere, you'll be shocked. This isn't how I used to behave or feel or experience. Then why all of a sudden all of this is happening, right? Sometimes you might be like, oh, I'm always nice and polite. Then why do I suddenly have these intense bouts of rage or lust or greed or jealousy or whatever? Simply because this is just an indication that Bhairava himself is giving to you. See, look, you've always identified with this good side right now. How about I break that mirror right in front of you, the identity that you forced on your jiva itself, or the ego forced on the jiva to match society's standards, and then show you the ugly side that you yourself refuse to see. And it's not anything external either, which is why I keep doing this. The worst of the worst part of you have to face is you only. This is what Bhairava does. He breaks all the identities you have. You're a human, you have X degrees, or you went to X company. Plainly shows you what they are. Just mirrors reflecting what you have attached and associated your jiva with, or what makes you feel who you are, when in reality it just isn't the case. It's just your ego doing this. Simply, if you can accept this side that society appreciates, why you're not able to accept and master the tamas within you, the side where people and you think is inferior or hellish, but then again it's nothing but you. Then comes in the Samudra Manthan all the good stuff, right? The Airavata, the Kamadhenu, the Kalpavriksha. Gladly both sides take it, right? And then they relish in the fact that they have these now, and then they keep chanting. Then comes the Halahal, which no one apart from Mahadeva himself can consume and store. Similarly, in your life, you will also be forced to go through events by Ma, where you will win, experience the highest of glories. Obviously, no one can, one can always accept and take in and feel good that they have all these achievements. But when the Halahal comes in, only Shiva can take this, extremely painful and poisonous substance released by the churning, and that is continuously happening within you as well. He doesn't complain to anybody. He simply takes in, and then Devi rushes by his side to soothe the pain. You yourself are Bhairava. The Manthan happens within you. It's not some external event out, that has happened. The glories that come your way are your blessings. But like he did, when the Halahal comes in your life too, you must take it in as well and engulf it completely. The Halahal itself is all the karma that will constantly hit you in your day-to-day life, whether it's the karma you have to burn from Pithrus or anything else. Your job as the bearer of your bloodline is to take it in. I think another leader that beautifully, illustrates this point of not cribbing and allowing the arrows of karma to pierce through your skin. And like Guruji says, this, very much applies to the later stages of sadhana, when more or less all materialistic goals are achieved. But I think, again, it's just important to also mention this. Sri Krishna in his last days, after all his leelas as a child, after the Kurukshetra, after he leaves Dwaraka, and then sits under the tree on his own in the forest and waits for that last arrow to come and hit his eel, is the greatest message that he could, ever give, like Guruji says. He simply goes, once he has done all that he has to do, plays his flute, expecting the arrow to come hit, very well aware of the fact that his Sinti is sinking, very well aware that Jara will now come, shoot him, yet he has no one with him. He doesn't summon an army to stop Jara like that, and he knows that moment where he's going to die will come very, very soon as well. Instead, he smiles, and even in the last waiting moments, he waits in bliss and cries out in pain because, even Krishna was born in a human body, right? But still in happiness because he's finished with the life. He's done all he had to do. He's finished all his karma and now he can go. He doesn't even hate Jara for shooting. He doesn't despise anyone. He doesn't worry or be scared about the fact that he would die with no loved one beside him. And he isn't desperately trying to return back to his beautiful childhood days, for example. I think this is the final, like Guruji says, this is the final phase of sadhana of Bhairava, Sakala Bhairava Mahakali, where, like I said, you are done with your material goals, but, you've got all the boxes that are ticked, and you just sit under the tree. Krishna never abandoned the Kurukshetra, however, to come running and then sit under the tree and waiting since then, right? He finished all that he had to do, and then he sat. Only when the skull fell in Kashi did Bhairava sit down as Kala Bhairava, right? But again, like I said, I think it's just really important to say this along with the Samudra Manthan part, at least in this video. Yes, lonely and depressing times will come. Yes, you might be scared and hopeless when you face your worst self or the worst events possible that were unimaginable. But this is the path. This is the path of Bhairava. You are Bhairava. Like he did, consume the Halahal. Like Krishna, let the arrows pierce you. Even if it hurts, let it hurt and smile. Guruji always says, right? Smile in the happy moments and in the worst moments equally. One of the names of Ma is Bhogya. She comes in and takes the bhoga for her own creation. Through you, she will experience the worst, and through you, she will experience the best. And absolutely enjoying, living in this world all through you. And then, like Guruji says, obviously, don't crib. This I found was very difficult to do, especially in the initial stages, by which I mean, when you first come into the sadhana of Bhairava in this lifetime. You have tons of questions and tons of experiences and tons of karma that will suddenly be put up onto you. I don't know, maybe bad failures or bad financials or health problems, maybe bad breakups. Take it in completely alone. Sadhana isn't some sort of therapy or a quick cure. It's no longer, I'll wear the color green and then wear this gemstone and then go to this therapist and then all the problems will get sorted out. And then, I'll go to 5 temples every single day. And neither is it the case that with your guru, I still remember the days when I used to text Guruji entirely huge paragraphs with questions, used to complain about problems and absolutely unnecessarily overshare, right? That's all okay. Your relationship with your guru, Bhairava and Kali is a threefold one, where you don't crib to anyone else apart from these three. But then what I found is you don't even need to trouble your guru with anxieties or questions, right? So stay quiet and at most crib to Maa Bhairava. Like I said, guru isn't some sort of therapist, right? He's the light that shows you the way, not some person that you complain to about life every single time. Chill, and you'll find, like in my cases, answers come like this. It's the deities love to talk. Again, Nema Kali, Vavaduka, right? She absolutely, I think both her and Bhairava love to talk to you. Once you even connect, like you will start to get hints of events before they even happen. Very talkative, and I think they've absolutely cherished the fact that the sadhaka interacts with them. Go talk, fight with your deities 24/7. Be in constant engagement with them, like in one form or another. Right, like Bhairava, who called no one. Go call Ma; she would come and soothe your pains. And then again, this isn't just me repeating what Guruji has said, right? I mean, yes, it is, but again, I think it's just something that I've experienced back then and even recently, and is a very solid truth about this path. The moment you crib, Ma would be like, this silly fellow hasn't learned or accepted the lesson, let's just repeat this. And you'll be constantly stuck in the same loop again. Instead of throwing all the hahuti off the yajna outside, offer it within to Ma and Bhairava. Accept all evenly, right? You have to experience both sides of the Vajra. For example, the Deva, the Asura, the worst and the best days, to master equilibrium yourself and the state of Shunyata itself. Who then gives the Adhara to stay in peace, do your karma yoga, slowly develop vairagya, and then allow you to sit down like Sri Krishna, become a well-roasted body whilst doing all of this, and then once your work is majorly done, get hit properly and finish all your karma, Bhairava. Right? Offer it to him. Offer it to Ma. Offer it to Guruji, whoever your guru is. They are in control of your entire jiva, Bhairava, and will completely rip apart all your ego that has, all of the things that it's mixed in. So saying that this is my job, this is my family, this is my talent, these are my identities, completely rip them apart and plainly show you these are just mirrors you're identifying yourself with. It will give you the base to accept all, take it in all, feel it all to the maximum intensity, and quickly take you through your yatana while you live, right? So 300 years compressed into 3 years. And then allow Ma to step on him as a pedestal and experience all through you. I think I can share this with you, and I feel like sharing this too. It's my own example of how events happen, how she comes and plays with you and teaches you the path. And it ties in very neatly with all of this as well, especially where you have to accept both sides. So a bit of background for you all is that I love making images of Ma. Now, I started making images of Ma using Gemini sometime last year. Simple idea was I'll decorate Ma, and at least I'm doing something, right? So I started with Bhasma Abhishekams, etc. Until one day I did a Bhasma Abhishekam that Guruji loved. That gave me the confidence to keep going. So far, so good. Then all of a sudden, a shift in mindset came where I was like, okay, I'm making, people are liking, but what's the reason? What's the main reason as to why every day I wake up and I'm creating images almost every day at this point in time, using Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever AI to decorate Ma's Vigram? Why is it that every day I wake up, suddenly, out of nowhere, I'm just getting these thoughts like, okay, Ma wants this flower, like this Abhishekam, etc. Right? As always, like Guruji said, the answer is found when you keep going. Not when cribbing, not when asking, just keep going. All of a sudden, I get this urge one day, I've been doing basma, kumkum, milk. What happens if I decorate Ma with blood and bones? Right? I do it. And then everyone likes it again. This is I was actually scared if this would work. And then the key thing here is sometime after making these pictures, I gave a challenge. I gave a challenge to myself, Ma, and Bhairava was like, look, I will look at you at the highest no matter what decoration, right? Then I tried something, which I was again actually afraid to make. That was a decoration of Ma with flesh. Then it was decaying flesh and rotting leaves and fruits. Then a few days, and then back at it again with basma, kumkum, milk, water. Then suddenly adding the heaviest of jewelries and flowers. Then back to simple, almost tribal ornaments. Then suddenly again, bleeding literally to decorate Ma exactly. Like, for example, with the Bhadrakali form. Decorations at least. Each time I created an image, it wasn't, if it was likes or if anyone saw Ma, it was just how absolutely drop-dead, stunningly gorgeous she was. It didn't matter if it was bones, or it was rotting things, or flesh, or nothing, or gold, or diamonds. I was suddenly starting to be completely mesmerized by how beautiful and grand Maa or Bhairava were in every edit that other shishas made or I made. And finally, I was able to put what society considers as the worst and forbidden almost on par or even more with the grandest Alankara accepted by everyone. I think this also reflected with the way I started to treat events and people and things around my life too. Obviously, it's a work in progress, right? But then I hope that this story gives some sort of insight into how Ma actually talks to sadhaka and actually plays with them, right? The challenge which I foolishly thought was given by me to Ma was actually her challenge to me. It wasn't me creating these images. It was her popping into my head, making Bhairava create the images, and then making me react to them. If you can't accept the best, will you accept, if you can accept the best, will you accept that which is inauspicious or the worst in not only decorating my Vigraham, but will you also be able to, accept this in your own life with any events that go around? Like Sri Rama placed Ma Sita at the highest, during the Vanavasa, when she was most comfortable still. Like Bhairava consuming the Halahal, will you be able to face, Rithvik, the first test of this path, and keep me at the highest and look at everything and experience both sides of the Vajra equally? And this is just with images, right? And the funniest thing is, this isn't the only, this is not just the story of my life, but I can guarantee you that as you move along this path, you and, other sadhakas may have already gone through this or will face this. I guess it just highlights the beauty and importance of all that Guruji has already said and all that repeated right here. So, yeah, I think I'm majorly done with this video. I don't think I have anything else to say. Yeah. I hope it helps, even if it was just a reminder, right? Like I said in the first video, the whole point of this channel was also to explain everything that Guruji has already said, but through the lens of a simple child walking through the path right now. So yeah, there we go. Bhairava Kali ki namostute. Om namo Bhairavaya namo namah. Om namo Bhairavaya svaha. Jai Maa Adyamahakali.